Welcome back to In Good Company for another episode with Jeremiah and Judah. Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple or whatever you listen to on, if you would like to watch the full version of this episode, you can only do so on Patreon. You got to subscribe and you'll get our newsletter and 5-star reviews and playlists curated by Jeremiah that are flames, or fuego as I like to say. Subscribe to our Patreon. That would be great.
Send us some money.
Send us some money. This is something that Jeremiah will comment on stuff sometimes and be like, this is a Judah thing. I say fuego.
It's your word.
I love fuego. I'm not too keen on all the new lingos and stuff like that, but the other day, Jeremiah and I are driving home from Palm Springs, and you said something, and I was like, I don't know what that means.
I said buns.
What the hell does that mean? Buns.
Buns means like cheeks.
What do you mean? Wah, wah, wah.
It means it's ass. If something is buns, like, man,
It's mid.
that's mid, bro.
Even me, I feel like I can't even use mid.
You can say mid. Oof.
I can't use mid.
I mean, you're already pushing it with say less,
I know, but it's...
but you love a good say less.
Say less.
But our podcast was almost called say less.
It was
low-key.
almost called say less, guys. Low key, can't say that.
I don't know. I feel like you could say buns. Like, man, it's just buns.
Our friend used it, and you were like, buns?
Oh, it was Matt.
Matt used it.
Matt, that's
Shout
what it
out,
was.
Matt.
Shout out to our boy Matt.
Matt
made the
used-
pod.
Made
finally.
the pod, but yeah, he said buns.
I was in shock.
Yeah, you
I
were
was like, I looked at
shook.
him like, oh yeah, you been hanging around some real ones.
Matt works in music, so it makes sense.
Yeah, he said buns, but yeah, I mean, we use buns, we use cheeks, but like the hard launch, soft launch stuff, like the TikTok lingo, I don't know. Face card, I don't know that lingo.
What does face card mean?
So face card apparently is, you know what we're sounding like? We're sounding like our dads. You know, like when our dads are like, hey, like, what are the cool kids saying? Like, that's how we fucking sound right now.
I don't want to be a cool kid.
However, the TikTok lingo ain't cool. Ain't never gonna be cool.
What is even like a TikTok lingo?
Yeah, it's like hard launch, soft launch. That's where it came from to my knowledge. I could be completely wrong.
So buns, though. Buns is just like,
Buns is-
that's ass.
It's ass, it's cheeks, bro.
That's
it's like
cheeks.
It's like when something's over, we use curtains, right? That was
I like curtains I love.
Yeah, you can say curtains. Like,
Oh, yeah.
but TikTok lingo also is like face card never decline. So I just got hip to this thing. And it's basically, correct me if I'm wrong, but like you're so good looking that you can't get rejected or that you can get shit for free. It's pretty privileged, pretty much. Like your face is so crazy that it just gets you access to anything and everything and anybody. That's this new Gen Z, and now the new group after that's Gen Alpha.
Alphas are what born right now.
I don't know what their lingo is going to be. You know what I mean?
Greetings, fam. Greetings. What are your pronouns?
That's fucking incredible, dog. Nah, dead ass though. Greetings. What are your pronouns? Are crazy, bro. Oh my, that's a good one.
Let's go down the list here of yeses and nos of what Judah can use.
Okay.
Can I use buns?
Yes.
I can use buns.
Yes.
Cap.
No.
Say less.
Yes.
Yes.
Can't answer your own question, but yes.
I mean, say less. What's another one?
Curtains.
Curtains.
Yes.
I can use curtains. Mid.
No.
I felt that one.
Yeah.
What are some other ones that I can't use?
What are some other good ones?
Oh, you said something the other day. It was like a word for hanging out. Like I would use chillin'.
I've been chilling. Cooling.
Maybe that was a good.
We're
word.
cooling. We're just cooling.
Yeah, I'm not. I can't use coolin'.
You can use cooling. We just cool. Nah, maybe not.
Not for me.
We just cooling out.
Fuego.
Fuego. You're a big fuego guy.
Big fuego guy. Big fuego.
My version of fuego is like
Fire.
fire or hitting.
Speaking of fuego, what do we got? 5 stars.
My 5 stars is actually my favorite tequila.
Do people know you're a tequila connoisseur? Like, you know tequila more than probably anybody that I know.
Mostly, yeah.
So you're
For people who don't know me, I got very close to launching a tequila company. Did years of recon, researched.
Spent a lot of time in Mexico.
Spent tons of time in Mexico. I've been to probably 50 plus distilleries.
So his 5-star carries some weight here, people.
Yes. Going into my tequila experience, I wanted everything to taste like Casamigos. And this is years ago. And this is kind of like when tequila, which is going through a crazy renaissance right now.
Everyone was making one.
Yeah, everyone's making one now, right? Like
Yeah.
every celebrity and their mom has got one. And this was like kind of right as that was starting. And Casamigos hadn't sold the Diageo yet. They're the new big boys, kind of like taking space away from Patron and Don Julio, and everybody loved it. The story was cool. It's George Clooney, it's Randy Gerber, it's Meldman. And so as you go on a real tequila journey, when you're spending that much time in Mexico, you kind of realize your palate is extremely underdeveloped when Casamigos is your favorite tequila. And so they are very clever at marketing. If you ever look at the back of a Casamigos tequila bottle, for anybody who's never really looked at the back.
I know a few girls are going to be real mad at this.
In tequila, or in the process of making tequila, you have to disclose if you're putting in additives into the tequila. Casamigos does put in additives in the tequila.
Hints of vanilla.
Right, and they do it in a very clever way. So if you turn on the back of the bottle, it says with notes of a vanilla finish. So it's clever because they're telling you they're putting in additives, but the way it's worded, the way it's framed, as if it's like just a part of the tequila experience of you drinking it. That's just the aftertaste of it. But my favorite tequila right now is called Cascaween. And we'll do a description, we'll do a link in the Patreon. On the menu. Cascaween is even better than Fortaleza, and I do love Fortaleza.
I love Fortaleza.
Fortaleza is great. Cascaween is even better. They just started selling it here in America. It was only in Mexico. You could only get it in like Mexico City or Guadalajara. And the best tequila blanco I've ever had is Cascaween Tahona Blanco.
Tahona Blanco?
You don't even need ice.
Really?
Pour it straight, you're good.
Room temp.
Room temp, you're good. You don't need it cold. Also, room temp tequila is where it's at.
Yeah.
Don't give me cold tequila. Give me room temp tequila. It's the best version to experience. Because cold, it all tastes the same.
Yeah.
It just goes down. You don't really taste it. The burn ain't really there.
And this is a sipper.
This is a slow sip. Enjoy with your meal or enjoy out and about. Cascaween tequila is my 5-star.
All right.
Yes, sir.
That sounds great.
What's your 5-star of the week?
My 5-star this week is one of my favorite subscriptions. AMC A-List, baby. You pay like $24 a month and you get 3 movies a week. So you get 12 movies a month for $24 a month. One movie is $20.
It's the best.
So I used it last week. I use it probably once every 2 weeks. Summer, like new movies are coming out.
Yeah.
But AMC A-List, you get 3 movies a week. So 12 a month. It's friggin' awesome. And with that, they have a thing called Entourage on AMC. And Jeremiah had it too. I can book Jeremiah a seat with his subscription.
We do that all the time. We're like, you'll hit me, I'll hit you, but yeah, we're going to go see a movie. Okay, we'll book the seat.
Yep, booked yours. It's great.
You get free popcorn,
Oh, yeah, the
drinks.
perks.
I mean, it adds up over time in the best way possible because you go to a movie now with a date or with a friend, you're
Easy.
like $60 then.
Yeah, even the other day I went with our good friend Katie and Evan, and I let Katie use my rewards for her little M&Ms and popcorn. Great.
I went on a date not too long ago and like popcorn. I like to do either the chocolate M&M peanuts in the popcorn. I'll just like throw the box in there.
Trail mix vibe.
In the popcorn, yeah. Oh, it's the best. You get the salty, you get the sweet, and it's a little surprise every time.
God, I love movies. AMC A-List, it's my 5-star. I'll put a link to it in the menu. I love it. AMC A-List is the way to go.
Speaking of movies, what is your movie of the week?
My movie of the week is one I just saw with my AMC A-List movie pass, Challengers.
I haven't seen it. Do
It
not
is-
fucking spoil it. I know you almost went there.
Here's the thing. It's one of those movies I will see again. It's phenomenal. Zendaya is great. The 2 dudes in it are awesome.
Okay.
It has a Jeremiah soundtrack. You're going to love the soundtrack.
Like midway through, you're like, did Jeremiah like score this?
Literally, dude.
Yeah.
It was like synthy, like cool. And yeah, it's a movie about tennis, but it's like, what my favorite thing about the director, Luca, all of his movies, Call Me By Your Name, Bones and all, they're all love stories. And he like basically finds different windows to view relationships. So this one is with 3 people and it's about tennis and really great movie. Definitely go see Challengers while it's still in theaters because it's got a great soundtrack. It's shot beautifully and Zendaya kills it.
His music choices are kind of a big part of his style. Like Call Me By Your Name, it's so apparent. You know what I mean?
Incredible.
And I've heard from multiple people, Challengers, the music is very particular.
It's
I've
so
heard.
good. Challengers is great. Definitely go see it. It's phenomenal. Speaking of scores, speaking of music, Song of the Week, which, by the way, in case you guys are listening, the only way to get the playlist and to get our menu is to subscribe to our Patreon. So please click the link down below and subscribe. Song of the Week.
Song of the Week is by a relatively new artist. He's been bubbling for some time. His name is McGee. And it's MK.GEE on Spotify. And the song is called A Little Bit More. And he's kind of like a raw, it's like a mash of like raw, all rock, pop, and R&B.
I haven't heard it.
Yeah, and the way his guitars are very kind of grungy and like everything's filtered, and even his voice has like this kind of like filter on it. It's just very intimate. I think the sounds are really cool. And he's like one of my favorite artists right now.
All right.
Yeah, McGee.
So that'll be on the playlist. Everyone go check it out. Our guest today, she is
Electric. She's
contagious energy.
She's a fireball.
Yeah, you're our fireball.
Like, you ever had like a shot of fireball at the bar? Like, that's our guest in a nutshell. Like, it's just in your face, raw, unapologetic, and lovely in every way. She's beautiful.
She's an actress.
An
She's
actress, entrepreneur. She is a cabin expert, as she's recently bought a home in Arrowhead. But she's a dear friend, someone I genuinely love, and I'm so thankful to have her in my life. So please welcome Vivian Benitez, better known as Viv.
We appreciate you coming out.
Yeah,
Thank you for having
for taking
me.
the trek.
Yeah.
So me and Viv met each other breaking bread over wine during COVID. I'd never met her. Her ex is one of my best friends, someone who I was raised with in Winter Park, Orlando, Florida. And I never met you. I didn't know you while you guys were together because he was in
thank
Dallas
God.
with Chandler Parsons as his manager. And I'm so glad.
Manager's a stretch, but yeah. Yeah.
His day-to-day confidant.
Assistant?
I don't.
Assistant.
No,
I don't wanna say that.
No, I would say more than an assistant, but like,
Yeah.
there's also no managing that guy. It's like what?
That's facts.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Chandler?
Yeah, he's his own man. He's doing whatever the fuck Chandler wants to do. There's no question.
You're giving like I have hives, like putting myself back in that space, that relationship with all those people, and I have nothing about Pasha. That's the person that we met through, our friend and my ex. Nothing about Pasha. It's just that was such an interesting. We dated for under a year. We didn't even date for that long, and he was my best friend. I fucked up, and that relationship taught me a very, very valuable lesson that once you know someone's not for you, like it does such a disservice to stay with that person, because what ended up happening actually is that I was too much of a pussy to end it with him. So I ended up, I didn't fully cheat, but I was not the best girlfriend.
Wait, so that's a real thing. I've seen videos on it. It's like girls mentally break up with you 2 months before they do it.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, or 8 months before they do it. Yeah.
or from the very start.
Or from the
They're
beginning, depending
trying to
on the
figure
person.
out how to break up with you.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think it's that conscious. I think it's like subconscious, and especially when there's a lot of love there, it's like I didn't know myself well enough to know what I wanted, what I didn't want, whatever.
Yeah,
and
you didn't know that you're
instead
slowly poshing him away.
Pushing him away.
instead of manning up and being like, you know what, we should go back to being best friends, I was just not a good person.
I mean, Pasha has such an electric personality, and so do you. So I can
Yeah.
see like how that would be an instant friendship would be formed. Honestly,
Yeah, and we're still friends.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
To this
No,
day,
yeah.
we're still we're
That's the
still
only reason
good
I know
friends,
you, right?
And we're much better friends. Yeah, exactly. And like I was saying, I'm so glad that we met through Pasha, but after me and Pasha broke up, and I already started the relationship that I'm in. And I'm glad, because all of Pasha's friends that knew me through him during that time just kind of hated me and like
Yeah.
are not allowed to be friends with me.
I can
because,
see that.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
it might still.
If you're the person
can
that
see
breaks
it.
someone's heart, you
Yeah.
ought to like.
Oh, for
there's
sure.
no way that like your ex's best friends can still fuck with you in any way.
Yeah.
Like you're automatically out. You're cut. So I'm glad that.
I agree with that
After the
so
cut.
much.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
See ya.
And we just
Cut
discussed
off.
like, I don't know, the bro code. Was I supposed to call Pasha and tell him you were coming on? Like,
Sorry, dude.
I
Hello,
don't
darkness,
have-
my
Jesus
old
Christ.
wait,
friend.
because
but it's been
Pasha
so
called
long.
you. You and Pasha were talking. You said,
Me and Pasha talked last weekend, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, I'm going on Jeremiah," and he wasn't like really serious. He does that thing. He's like, I feel like that should have been a call. I feel like you should have run that by me.
I thought about it. I did. I was like, nah, like I didn't know you two when you guys were boyfriend, girlfriend. I only met you after COVID, and you guys were just been friends ever since. And we kind of swapped friends. Like Pasha took my sister, I took you, and I feel like it's even trade.
That's hilarious.
Came out on top.
Yeah.
No, but during COVID, like me, Pasha, Viv, and there was somebody else.
It was a friend that I don't have anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see her all the time. She's so nice.
I've gotten my heart broken way more by friends than I have with like boyfriends. I had a guy friend that was like my absolute best friend that we stopped being friends like last year. And I'm getting married. Like I'm in a very serious relationship. But when we broke up as friends, I cried for like 3 days straight.
Really?
And my fiance was like, all right, like you don't have to care that much. Like,
Yes.
what the fuck?
I think
You
it's like a
know?
culture thing. I think like men and women, I think we approach, friendships like, I have friendships that have been burnt or it
Yeah.
ends, and I'm just like, all right, like it is
Oh,
what
you
it
don't
is.
care?
No, I care, but I think like a relationship breakup hits us way differently.
Yeah.
Or maybe fucking who knows? I don't even know.
Well, obviously, I think if my relationship now ended, it would be decimating. But I've never been in a relationship like the one I've been in now. I've been like,
You didn't want to break up with him when you first met him?
Touche. Well played, sir.
That was good.
Yeah,
No.
that was good.
All these new feelings.
I know. Oh man. But prior to this one, it's been like my only, I think, real serious boyfriend was Pasha, and we just went over that. And then prior to that, I'd get hurt by guys, but it was never real love or anything. So it was never like decimating.
You never had that
I'd
like
get
3
played,
months of
I'd
not
get-
getting out of bed, crying.
No.
Lucky you.
No.
Yeah. Now listen, Viv, obviously me and Viv have always been close, but she's someone I reconnected with and was a shoulder I could cry on, lean on back when I was working through all the emotions and things in my life that were upside down. And one thing about you,
I love when I get a call from someone and I'm like, ooh, I'm earning like major points with this. Like if I've got to like drop everything and like dramatically go do something for someone.
Yeah.
I'm like,
you were absolutely
You know
somebody.
you got him next time.
But Viv is absolutely somebody you can confide in. She's someone who's going to tell you what you need to hear, whether you want to hear it or not. And she's going to do it in a loving way where you feel,
Tough love.
Yeah.
and I'm used to it. My sister's that way. My sister's tough love. Like she
Yeah.
tells you what you need to know,
Yeah.
whether you want to hear it or not.
Yeah.
But it's still like a form of love. And I don't know if you give yourself enough credit. You do have a nurturing way about you. At least that's only been my experience with you, honestly. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is like dating you, but
I was gonna say, don't interview. No.
no, my experience is like I feel like you're way more nurturing than you give yourself credit for.
I think I get harder the more I know someone. So like I feel like we're at like a good point. Let's not get to know each other anymore.
Yeah.
What do you
Because I'll
mean?
just
You get
see-
harder?
Stop up, brother.
Like I just get more aggressive. Like the more comfortable I am with someone, that nurturing energy is still there, but I get very, especially if someone is still doing the same things after we've had these conversations. At a certain point, I'm just like, fuck off. Like you want to hear it, I'll let you hear it. Like fuck her, fuck you, and fuck that.
Yeah.
You know?
Viv is spice, and more spice.
Fuck
Tahini.
her, fuck you, and fuck that. That's,
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
chill.
I'm Cuban.
Okay, I was going to
Cubano.
ask. Yeah, you're
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cubano.
You
Yeah.
don't hold
My-
back.
Habla español?
Sí, entiendo todo, pero.
Poco?
I'm so insecure. It was my first language, and I came home. I grew up in a very white town in New Jersey, and I came home one day. I think it was in kindergarten or first grade, and people were like making fun of me. They were like, "Oh, go mow my lawn, like clean my house, whatever." And I told my mom, and I was like, I had like a little accent or whatever it was.
Pretty
and-
adorable little accent.
Dude, Viv
know.
accent, I'm here for that, please.
And my mom was so, both my parents fled Castro. So my mom was so wanting me to be American and wanting me to like fulfill the American dream. And she kind of just like erased my Hispanic culture from because I told her, I was like, I don't want to be different anymore. And she stopped speaking to me in Spanish.
That's a real thing
Yeah.
in America.
Yeah.
It's for a lot of, I think, minorities, immigrants, especially in the Hispanic community, around Texas border, California, Florida, all flying in. I've even like dated a Colombian girl at a point in my life where she hated speaking English
Yeah.
because she was embarrassed.
Yeah.
Like vice versa, how you were embarrassed to
embarrassed
speak
to-
Spanish, she was
yeah.
embarrassed to speak English.
Yeah.
Like when you go to Mexico and you kind of get ingratiated in the culture and you meet people and become friends with people, if English isn't obviously their first language, more times than not, they don't feel comfortable enough because they're not good at it.
Yeah.
In their opinion, they're not good at it. I'm just like, no, you speak great English to me. But it's a very similar, I mean, it's a real thing that happens.
Yeah, I so badly wanted to be white and Jewish, actually. All my friends were Jewish. I so badly wanted to be white my whole life. And I was so ashamed of our culture and being Cuban and everything. And then, like, funnily enough, I moved to LA to be an actor. And I had bleach blonde hair for most of my adult life.
What?
And have you read the book Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo? It's about a fictional character that is Cuban and comes to Hollywood in the 50s to become an actress and dyes her hair blonde because her managers are like, you have to be white passing. And the opposite happened for me when I came here. People were like, you don't look Hispanic. And I literally started to have to like wear hoop earrings to every audition. I'm like, what do you want me to do? Like
with your name in
cover
it.
myself in like frijoles? Like, what do you
Frijoles?
want me to do?
Cover myself in frijoles is
Like,
crazy.
you want me like... Like, how many stereotypes do you need me to fit into? I had to, like, get my curls back. Like, so many. It's just so weird. And
Were you
I
struggling with
still-
who you were, like your identity growing up? Like trying to, I guess, get ingratiated into American culture and all your friends are Jewish, they're white.
I wanted to be Jewish too. Give me some real estate. What? Yeah, me too.
Give me some generational
I got the curly
wealth.
hair. I got the name Judah.
Yeah.
Give me a piece of property.
Give me a piece of property. It's incredible. You know what I mean? 'Cause I feel like I've talked about it generally is that even for me, like being mixed, you're trying to toe this line of like, wait, where do I fit
where
in?
do you fit in? Yeah.
You know, like I'm with my white friends, got my black friends, and they are separate groups and they hang out with separate people and the cultures are much different.
Yeah.
And I was always kind of getting like a little pushback from my white friends sometimes. Like,
We went on a bachelor party recently.
oh my God.
And it was like 18 of us. Funny enough, that's our friend. He's Jewish. And it was like golfing and beer pong. And Jeremiah posted
You know
a
me,
photo.
Viv, like, I'm like golfing and beer pong and like,
And someone
do love beer pong.
Someone texted you and was like, "Yo, where the fuck are you?"
yeah, 'cause I posted a video. I posted a video like me and like 8 white guys, you know, like all like very like frat boy. And there's like White Claws in the picture and shit. And my boy goes, blink if you need to be rescued. I love you,
That's
Evan. It was my
It was
boys.
a great time.
It was a great time, but there were things that were happening at this bachelor party. I can't say it publicly, but I remember like watching people, and it was such a cultural like shock.
Brother, nice shot.
I had this guy corner me, like I didn't know him. At the bachelor party corners, he goes,
This
like,
is so good.
He goes, bro, like your vibe, man. And I looked at him, I was like, yeah. He goes, you're like, I don't want to sound racist. He goes, but you're like cultured. I mean, like, look at your sambas. And he's like, he goes, I can't
print.
He goes, I can't pull off sambas, man. I can't do it. He goes, your hair. He goes, I like your vibe, man. And like, he was trying to be so nice.
Yeah.
But when you lead with, I don't want to be racist, I was like,
That
automatically.
dude
like,
was a straight asshole.
I liked him.
He goes, Viv, where'd you go to school? I was like, I went to Colorado State and then I went to acting school. And I was like, where'd you go? And he was like, went to Notre Dame. You wouldn't have fit in there.
He did not say that.
Yes.
Yeah, he
and
did.
I was like,
Viv, hold on.
cool.
You're kidding.
Not even kidding. Oh, yeah, you wouldn't
He's
have fit
kind of like Greg from Succession. He's kind of a little goofy, quirky.
Little on the spectrum.
Yeah,
maybe.
but like I liked
in. What
his
a
energy.
comment that is, though.
That was a crazy. Maybe he just.
Where'd
Yeah,
you go?
that's
Notre Dame.
insane.
Yeah, you wouldn't have fit in there.
What if that was his way of complimenting you? Like you're just way too cool for Notre Dame, bro.
That's what I
No,
hope so. You
it
know who you
wasn't.
are, too, buddy.
Oh man.
Anyways,
I get a comment like that. I'm like, ooh.
Literally, I was just like, if you weren't 6'6" and,
Yeah.
and had a bachelor party with me, oh my God, if roles were reversed. It was
Yeah,
such
you had
an
other things to
interesting-
worry about.
Yeah, it was such an interesting comment.
Yeah, it was. But anyways, to go back, I just feel like that identity crisis, that cultural kind of crisis, I think is a very normal thing to have. Truly, I think especially when you come from a multiracial family or you're an immigrant.
I honestly didn't have a crisis. I just
Not crisis, but I guess like
no,
what's the right
but,
word?
Like I didn't even have anything close to a crisis. I just wanted to be white, and I like did everything I could to be white. Like I just like
You
I was
bleached your hair.
bleached my
Your hair is
from
gorgeous
14.
and curly.
From
and
14, I had bleached blonde hair. You didn't meet me with it.
Your hair is great.
I heard
Thank
bleach
you.
blonde
Great.
Viv. Like I heard that's like a thing. Like
Or you're just like a
knowing
little
Viv when she was
firecracker?
like bleach blonde, she's already a
Yeah.
firecracker. But like
Yeah,
she
and I had
was.
a grill. Oh, it was a bad time.
Whoa. You had a grill?
Yeah, there was like 2 years in LA. I was like,
I mean, you're tatted up. Are you removing those?
all of them.
I could see it. I
I'm
could see them
removing
fading.
all of them, every single one. I'm trying to get them all removed by the wedding.
We could take those
These
out
are the
in post.
Sins of, I know, seriously. I hope these are the sins of my 16-year-old
What
self.
skyline is that?
New York.
Are those the Twin Towers?
Yeah.
It's supposed to look like a pulse.
No, I did them all myself, which is why they're so shitty. I did them. At 16,
Wait, you did it?
I ordered a tattoo gun off Amazon when I was
What was it?
16.
An old toothbrush, electric toothbrush?
No, I ordered a tattoo gun off of Amazon
Wow.
when I was 16, and I did them in my bedroom when I was 16.
Unprecedented.
And
You
I did
definitely-
all of them.
You're really trying to be white.
Yeah, I did all of them in 1 year, and it was just so
Wait,
stupid.
who
and
orders
it's-
a fucking tattoo gun off of Amazon?
They used to. I don't know if they still sell them.
Here I
now,
am still
but
getting little mini
I
tattoos.
believe they do because I saw a whole TikTok tattoo artist being like, "These should not be legal to sell on Amazon."
So your journey started in New Jersey,
Yeah.
and you ended up in LA. Why?
Long story. I grew up in New Jersey until 2008. I don't know, 1996, 12. I grew up very comfortable and had a really great life and family life and wanted for nothing. And then the market crashed. My dad lost his business, went a little crazy. He was always like a man defined by money. And then when the money went,
Yeah.
a lot of him went. And then he cheated on my mom and ended up getting married to the woman that he cheated on my mom with. So there's just a lot happening. We lost all of our money. They got divorced. My mom had her best friend in a small little beach town called New Smyrna Beach in Florida.
Shout out New Smyrna. I love New Smyrna.
New Smyrna. So we could not afford to stay in New Jersey with all the affluent Jews over there. Couldn't pay those property taxes anymore. And we moved to New Smyrna when I was like 13. And then I dropped out of high school freshman year.
Freshman year?
Yeah, freshman year.
You didn't even give it like a year.
No, I hated school. I really don't.
Like most people,
believe
like I
in
dropped out like junior. She's
No,
like freshman year. I'm like, it ain't for me.
One of my
I
sisters
don't
did same thing.
believe in the American education system. When I have a kid, they're going to like Montessori school,
Yeah, I feel that.
at least until like fifth
Mine
grade
too.
or something.
I'm with you on that.
I really hated school. It wasn't for me. I knew because I saw both sides of the coin. I wouldn't say we were wealthy, but we were well off. And then very, very poor. I just had a fire under me. I was like, I'm never going to be the poor kid again. And I was like, I'm getting out there. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make something of myself. I don't want to live like this anymore. And my mom said, she was like, you're going to drop out of school. You either get a job, not a restaurant job, not a bartending job, like a real job, like in an office, a career job, or you get your GED and go to community college. And at that time I was 16. I was like, I'm not fucking doing that shit. No more school for me. And I was doing like odd jobs here and there. And at 17, I got a job as the assistant to the director of Wilhelmina Miami and moved down, which is a modeling agency.
And that's how your journey into Wilhelmina started.
At
Yeah.
17?
At 17, I lied and said I was 18. I got the job. And by the time they found out, I was...
What do you mean it's like the top one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
So you model agencies?
Yeah.
It's definitely top 3, right?
Yeah. I still work for the company. I work for Wilhelmina
That's
LA
like
now.
the biggest one, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
if you're
yeah.
a female model, you want to be with
It's a
them.
legacy brand. It's an A-level legacy modeling agency.
And what's your role there?
Scouting.
Scouting.
But I was an assistant.
Do you scout guys?
No.
Wait, so
I've been wanting him to get into modeling so much. You'd crush it.
Okay, I'm going to say one thing, and I may want to cut this. Why would any man want to enter the only industry in the entire world where men make significantly less than women?
True. Don't do it.
Why? That's such a stupid career choice. Like, whenever I meet a guy and he's like, I want to be a male model, I'm like,
So you can't act.
why?
So that's your
But
tone.
why? It's like, why would you, like, you're already ahead in life. You're already going to be paid more than us. Why would you enter the only career option for you?
I didn't even know that information. I didn't know that.
Immediately
Makes sense.
get
I didn't know
paid
guys made less.
40% less than women.
No way.
Yes. A male model on the same shoot as a female model makes anywhere from half as much to, I'd say, 20% less than a woman.
Whoa.
Wow.
On that same shoot.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that. I mean, I've never thought about being a model,
Yeah.
so don't worry. I'm not about to just switch up careers here, but that's wild.
If you became a podcaster and male model in 1 year,
It's such a douche move. It's such a douche
You
move.
know-
Don't even put that in his head.
No,
He's
it's
got
not.
real
It's not.
things.
It's not. It's not in my head. I promise
Okay.
you. So you started out as an assistant.
Yeah, I started
At
as an
Wilhelmina.
assistant at Wilhelmina. I had the worst boss in the world. She's no longer at the company, rightfully so. She was absolutely awful. She is the director of a very prominent LA agency right now.
Just treats you
I
horribly.
cannot believe that she still has a job. I cried myself to sleep every single night. She was so abusive on so many levels. It was very interesting when all the Me Too stuff came out because all of my workplace trauma has come from women in power. All of it.
whoa.
I had
Really?
zero workplace trauma from men in power. And I'm not saying at all, taking away from that. What people don't talk about is workplace trauma from women because it's such a huge, huge issue and nobody talks about it. And I get so fired up about it because I don't, for the life of me, I don't understand.
What does that
why.
even look like? I know what the male side of it looks like because it's so public.
Psychological warfare. I mean, she
Like Devil's Wear Prada stuff?
Yes, but worse. She wore like pleather from the 80s. She was disgusting. She wishes she wore Prada. She
Just manipulative?
so manipulative. I remember one time vividly at a modeling agency. It's called the booking table. Everybody works at the booking table. So it's like one big room like this, and there's one big table. Everyone has their computer on the table, and it's a very collaborative working experience. Nobody has offices, is what I'm trying to say, or a cubicle or anything. And she was looking at me, and I was eating I remember a chicken dumpling soup from Whole Foods. She Googled how many calories are in that soup. And she says, do you really think that you can afford 700 calories for lunch? And I said, what do you mean? And she goes, well, you've gained weight and you're an extension of me. Mind you, this woman's like 6'4", and I won't even say how much she weighs, but like she's not a slim gal. And just humiliated me in front of the entire office, basically calling me fat. And
There's other people around.
I just set up the whole scene for you. Were you not visualizing? No, there's a booking table. Everybody works.
I can see how women can be mean.
Everybody.
Hey, Viv, you can leave him to the water. You can't make him drink it.
I know.
So there's a full lunchroom.
It's not a lunchroom. It's just where we work. The 20 people that work for the company at any given time work at the same table.
She's projecting her own insecurities.
Yeah, and it went so much deeper than that. She'd call me a whore in front of the office because I'd go on a date with somebody that she knew from somebody else, and like all just crazy
Like a female Ari Gold.
shit. Yeah, she would call me at 1 a.m. and she's like, my husband, we just got in a fight. There's blood everywhere. I think he broke something and he cut himself by accident. She's like, I can't stand the sight of blood. You need to come over and clean it up right now. And I was like, it's 1 a.m. I'm not coming over. And she's like, then you won't have a job in the morning and no one will touch you. Like, I'm blackballing you from the industry. And I was 17. I had no idea.
So you pulled up?
Yeah, of course.
And you
I did.
cleaned up blood?
And I slept there because she was scared that he was going to come back. I slept in her house. Yeah. And that was my life. Just the vitriol she would spout all the time at me.
So you've been there for 10 years.
Yeah, I've been there for 10 years.
You've just worked your way up into...
Yeah, she got fired, thank God, after I left. I only worked for her for like 9 to 12 months, and I moved to New York. I got a job at One Management in New York, did that for a little bit. I hated New York. I was so depressed. I hate New York.
What about New York do you hate? Just because it's just...
I was really poor when I lived there. I lived with like 6 roommates from Craigslist in like a 3-bedroom apartment on Wall Street, and...
Sounds miserable.
Yeah, it was awful. It was
That's
awful.
like my worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Like me like bunking up with 6 dudes I don't know from Craigslist,
dudes,
bro.
they were Wall Street dudes too. They were like finance bros.
Oh, so this is like, what do you call it? A co-ed space you were...
It was just an
apartment.
apartment. It was just an apartment with like flex walls. In New York, they do something
Flex
called
walls,
flex walls.
yeah.
And so like the living room, they made it my room. Like it was actually, I'm sorry, my room was not the living room. That was somebody else's room. My room was...
Someone's room was the living room?
Yeah, but with a flex wall. And then my room was a flex wall that was somebody's walk-in closet. And I had a twin bed in there, and that
should
was
be
my
illegal.
room.
That should be illegal.
I know. I was so depressed and so lonely there. It's funny. Actually, my friend Elsie, who's just on the pod.
Yeah, we love Elsie.
She was like, I just feel such a sense of community in New York. I'm like, wow, I could not feel the opposite. I had the exact opposite experience living in New York. I felt isolated. I felt alone. I feel such a sense of community in California. I love the state. I love the culture here, the wellness, everything. It's just, yeah, I hate it.
So how'd you find yourself back at Wilhelmina?
I moved to LA, 18 and a half, 19. I moved to LA for the first time, was quitting the modeling industry because I was like, this isn't for me. I was still an assistant at that time.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm going to act because I was in acting school in New York, just trying it out. And I was like, I'm going to give this a shot. I moved to LA to just be like a bartender / actress. I had no interest in the modeling world. And the director of Wilhelmina LA at the time, her name was Charlotte, DM'd me and she's like, I see you're in LA. Come in. I want to finally meet you, because we had known each other from when I was at Wilhelmina Miami. And I went in and she was like, do you want to be my assistant? I was like, no, I'm a horrible assistant. Like, I really am. I'm a big picture kind of gal. I'm not like a small details unless it's my
petty tasks.
Unless it's my
I'm the same, man.
My boss in New York, yeah, I was an assistant. My boss in New York, he would be like, can you do this for me? I'd be like, it'd be quicker if you did it yourself. Like, that's what I would tell my boss that I was
If Jeremiah
assisting.
had to run someone's schedule, they're missing a lot of shit.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Oh, my God.
Wow.
Oh, for sure.
No faith in
They're
me?
going to be 15 hours late to everything they do.
Well, your son was just born and you're missing your fourth.
Viv goes, hey, did you see that we changed the date of our... Viv's getting engaged, everybody. Of my engagement party. I was like, yeah, I saw it. She goes, Jeremiah, be there no later than 7:30. It starts at 6.
No. I said it starts at 5. See? Look at what he does in his mind. It starts at 5. I said be there no later than 6:30. You've already added an hour to what I
Viv,
told you.
you said... You might have said 5. Okay.
It starts at 5.
Did you call her
It starts
out?
at 5. I
Ipso
said
facto.
7, like the absolute latest, if you want to piss me off. 7.
See, it's
Get there at
6.
6. There's a
where-
fucking scorpion when she's mad.
Are you
I don't
doing
want
your,
Viv mad.
is your engagement party in LA?
Yeah.
Isn't your husband's British though, isn't he?
British. Yeah. He's from London.
Do you see yourself ever moving back there?
Yeah, probably at some point. I would love to spend more time in London at some point. He has his whole family there.
Oh, amazing.
I have my family here, but I really love it over there. I've spent a lot of time. I'm obsessed with British food. Said no one ever.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what their food sucks.
Like bangers
No
and
one
mash.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he would die if he heard you say that.
Cabbage.
I
Not
love
very-
the sausages. I love the pies.
I'm not mad at it
we know
either.
you like the
I
sausage. You're
love
getting
the-
married.
I like the fried fish and the fries and the tartar sauce and shit.
British
It's good.
And nothing like.
I love British pub food, I should say. I love
fish and chips. Yeah.
Well, not only is your fiance British, but he's also a very prominent actor. Very well known, has done incredible work.
The Holiday.
And he's also having
What
this
is that a bad thing to say?
career.
It's just like the worst. No, I'm sorry. It's not the worst thing he's done. It's just like he's done such amazing things. And it's like so annoying when people say The Holiday because it's just like,
You know what actually comes to mind is The Illusionist.
yeah, Illusionist, great movie. See?
But he's also having this like career renaissance right now where he's probably having the most work he's ever had in his career.
Yeah.
To my knowledge.
His name is Rufus Sewell, and his
Sewell.
agent is calling it the Rufusance.
The Rufusance, that's what he's having. He's having a
He
Rufusance.
is.
Truly.
He's having a moment, and it's so well deserved. And he's been working his whole life for it. He's such a talented and phenomenal actor. I'm truly in awe of him all of the time when I'm watching his work. And
He has a talent.
I was gonna say he's like the bad boy. Do you
He
like
is
that?
the bad boy in so many
Oh yeah,
movies.
Knight's Tale. That-
I
Knight's
guess, yeah,
Tale,
he plays a lot of villains,
Holiday,
Yeah.
Illusionist.
Is that something you like? Bad boy.
Nice bad boy.
You like
He's
the
so-
antagonist?
but You've met him.
No, he's
though.
awesome.
He's
He's the
so
sweetest
goofy.
guy.
He's so not that. So I didn't watch his movies and like, yeah, that's what I want. Like I just met him and loved him, and he's such a lively. He's just so the opposite of like the stern.
Opposite of what he plays.
Yeah. And
Where's-
at his best, you see it. I wouldn't even say at his best when he gets the opportunity to play something that's not a
Yeah,
a
get outside
villain,
that type.
Which it's been the past couple of years he has been. I mean,
He's getting his flowers right now in the sense, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he's really doing his thing. And what is he in right now?
The Diplomat on Netflix.
Diplomat on Netflix.
And Scoop just came out last week. He plays Prince Andrew, which he's one of the best performances
I have
I've
to watch
seen
that.
from him. It's a great.
How long have you been with Rufus?
It's been a long time. It's been years.
And why is this the one?
He's just my best friend, and I'm so challenged by him intellectually and emotionally, and he's always just pushing me to be better. And this is not like insert age difference comments, because of course he's going to be smarter than you, blah, blah, blah. There is a big age difference, and people love to point that out.
Let's talk about that because I know you guys have been dating for a few years, and all of a sudden, I guess the more formal news of you guys being engaged comes out, and you were all of a sudden hit with a certain amount of backlash, or
Yeah, I mean,
or-
it was just so weird because it's not like we've been like super private. I mean, we have gone to events together, we've been pictured together, and no one cared. And we kind of thought like, oh, no one cares, because it's always been in the back of both of our minds. I mean, we're not stupid. Like, we know what it looks like. It is a cliche.
and what's that? It's y'all's age gap.
It's the age gap, yeah. And we know that there's an age gap,
Yeah.
you know? And we were both worried about that.
People's perspective.
People's
or-
perspective on it, because everyone in our life, I mean, you've met us, you've spent time with me and him. Anyone that meets us, like, we've never gotten weird looks in public. Like,
It's non-existent to
it's
you guys.
non-existent,
Yeah.
and it's never been a part of our life, even though we do know that the number could be shocking to
I mean,
some
to
people,
be,
you know?
how many years apart are you guys?
29.
To be quite honest, when I first got introduced to him,
Mm-hmm.
it never even crossed my mind.
No, and it
Like,
doesn't
I-
to anybody that knows us. And I always like to say that, calling back to what I was saying earlier, he's just like some silly, goofy guy. I feel like he's kind of like 45 and I'm kind of 35. We kind of meet in the middle. Like, there's really only a 10-year age guy, you know?
Well, you are an old soul.
Yeah, I've been out of the house and working since I was 16,
Yeah.
and like paying taxes, and I have a career, and I'm not just some like little like, oh, fun, let me follow you around you know, it's like, it's not that kind of relationship. We are partners in every sense of the word. We both contribute equally to the relationship in a way that I think when people think about age gap relationships.
So is it hard for you guys, or do you just not give it any attention when people do articles and
Well,
and
this
say
is what
things?
happened. What happened was that nobody cared, and then we got engaged. And I honestly posted it on my Instagram for my friends. I get that I have a public Instagram and whatever, but again, I did not think that anybody was going to care. And it just went crazy for like a week. And it was the week of my birthday, and we had just got engaged in Rome, and we came back to London. I threw up a picture on Instagram Instagram for my friends, for my family. Yeah, Daily Mail ran it, and then it was like
In People magazine.
it was everywhere,
wild.
everywhere,
it
everywhere.
is.
People were
Scrutinizing
calling my
it?
grandparents. They were hounding my mom. They were calling my mom, my dad, who's very sick. They ran a story about my dad being sick. It was just so disgusting.
It's so invasive.
And listen, I
It
love
is.
attention. I love talking about myself. I love attention. I just don't want this. This was an attention that I didn't even know that I didn't want, but I
Yeah.
don't want it. Like, I'm so much more than like the person that I'm.
Being portrayed as.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The narrative that's being built for you, for him, for your
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah, and it was just such a weird for both of us. We were just kind of shell shocked. We were like, "Oh fuck, I guess people do care." Like, and this was the biggest lesson out of it. I called my friend who dates a prominent actor or
A mutual friend.
a mutual friend, yeah, who dates a really well-known actor, and she's been really dragged through it in recent
has been.
years.
Yeah.
And I called her, and she was like, "Hey, no one's reading it. Like, no one actually cares. Because when you're in it and you're just seeing article, and my Google alerts going crazy and crazy and crazy, article after article after article. They're calling my best friend's brother to try and get in touch with my best friend, and they're like, they showed up at Rufus's ex-wife's house. Like, it was crazy. It was weird. And
It's crazy people that don't even know you are writing an article about you.
I know. There was an article
you
in
don't
the
even know
Telegraph.
me.
There was an article somewhere, a whole entire op-ed about what we must talk about because of the age gap. Like, what do they
Wow.
talk about? And they were pontificating on what we could talk about. And like, I bet you he doesn't know what she's saying. And it's all TikTok lingo. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what do you, like, these idiots? Like, what losers? Like,
Yeah.
What's an assumption that they write about or they say that like bothers you the most?
I would say that just the cliche of like a younger woman being with an older man means I'm in it for the money or I'm some naive girl, and not just like the fact that two people fell in love and are like choosing to do life together and be together and partner in all things.
Yeah, I think when people think of like the younger, older, it's like you're just on his hip and you have nothing else going on.
I have nothing else
and
going on, and I'm doing it for the money, and
Yeah.
it's just like, fuck, it sucks. It sucks because I've worked so hard to be my own person and make my own money and do my own things. I mean, we bought a house together. We split a house. It's not like he's bankrolling my life.
I mean, I think people are naturally drawn to.
Yeah.
I just feel like people are going to project their own feelings of what's right and what's wrong and
Yeah.
what.
Here's the thing, if it's different, people will bag on it. If it's different
It's
from
true.
what their life is because they don't understand it, cool. Don't understand it. It's not their life. It's yours. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's just crazy how if it's different to anyone else, they like have an opinion on it.
But I feel
Why
like
do you have an opinion on it?
the biggest lesson through all of this was what our mutual friend told me was like, no one cares and no one's reading it. Like, you're the only person that thinks about all of this as much as you are. Like that age-old thing that people say, no one's thinking about
No one
you.
thinks about you more than you.
More than you, exactly.
All they care is about themselves.
Yeah, and that's been a huge thing for me my entire life. Like, I will go out one night and wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh my God, I said that and I did that. And I'm like, oh, the people are probably think I'm so annoying and stupid and whatever. And it's just like, oh, no one's thinking about what I said and what I did. So this was just like a very weird Hollywood way of relearning that lesson of like,
Yeah.
no one cares.
Has that been hard for you guys, or is that bringing you closer together?
It was hard only in the sense that we felt so violated. We felt our privacy had been violated, even though I'm the one who put it on Instagram. Not as like a statement, just as like, yay,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
you're happy.
Like, I didn't know. They were like, Rufus and Vivian make a statement. I'm like, I didn't make a statement. I just like shared it with my friends, you
Yeah.
know?
Privacy is a luxury nowadays.
Yeah, and I never really understood that because he's very, very private. And I never understood that until this. And so, no, it was never a struggle or it didn't create any weirdness between us. We were just weirded out.
Yeah.
And now proceeding more with caution because it's just like all of our friends know us and know how we are and everyone loves us and has never thought twice about us two being together. And that's all that matters.
How do you play the balancing act? Because like you do your thing for work, he's gone, he's traveling. Do you guys have like a 2-week rule? Like we don't go more than
Yeah.
a month without seeing each
we
other?
try, we
like
try to do 2 weeks. I'd say on average it's 3 weeks. Yeah.
I heard Matt Damon once say in an interview several years ago, he goes, hey, like me and my wife are still together because we had made a pact, we made a rule early. We would not go longer than 2 weeks without seeing each other. And I think
McConaughey too.
at least having that
Yeah.
goal, having that mindset, like sets you up for success.
Yeah, and oftentimes because he works in London and we are both based in LA, but he is doing a job that shoots in London, we will, if neither of us have enough time off of work to either go all the way to LA or go all the way to London, we'll meet in New York.
Oh, that's
so we
cool.
meet halfway
That's
and
smart.
for a weekend. we're really good at making it work. Another thing that actually really helps, it's like kind of pukey cute, is because we're both cinephiles. Like we absolutely love movies and TV shows. We watch a lot of stuff.
We're all cinephiles here.
Yeah.
Like,
If there's a movie that we really want to go see and we're like, fuck, we wish we could see this together. So I'll buy like a 2 p.m. showing here and he'll buy a 10 p.m. showing in London and we'll go at the same time. And then
that's
text
dope.
throughout it. And then
I
we'll
love that.
call each other after.
I just want to love someone that way. Yeah. Shit, dude. Can you imagine just like, that's such a cool thing to do.
Yeah,
like,
it's a great way to bridge the guy. Like if you feel like you went on a date and you shared something and you can talk about it in real time afterwards, whatever.
shared interests are important in a
Yeah.
relationship because I think I've been in relationships in my past where like I'm trying to teach them how to love different
Movies.
songs. I'm trying to teach them how to love movies and film.
Yeah.
And if it's just not their thing or they haven't developed it yet, you're trying to play this role of like,
I have to say that after dating my ex-boyfriend, he's so smart and so funny and so interesting. And I was always trying to convince him of that. And I was always trying to like show him his potential. And I made the decision that I was never going to be with someone again that didn't have their potential realized, which is why I ended up with someone older. Like I made that conscious decision. I was like, I don't want to have to like put in the work to like show a man what he's worth.
What he's capable
Of. Yeah, I want someone that already knows what they're capable of, already is doing that, or is on that path, and I don't have to like
Coach.
Yeah. And so anyway, that's how I got into the relationship that I'm in, is because I made that decision. I knew what I wanted. I was like,
It's nice to know that and then be able to do that. I feel like you said, oh, I can teach you how to do this, teach you how to like come into your, like, no, just got to find someone that's already in the stride doing it.
in the stride. Absolutely. I mean, have you seen anything recently that you've liked?
movie, TV.
That
movie-wise.
something you guys have shared, like, you know, that you've seen together or
We watched Dune at the same time.
To clarify, Doom Part 2.
Dune Part
Doom
2.
Part 2.
Doom Part 2.
How was I know what your
That
reaction.
sounds kind of French. Doom Part 2.
Doom Part 2.
He's watching Doom Part 2 with Chalamet.
You loved it.
It's so good.
Oh my God.
It's special.
Oh my
It's a
God,
special movie,
absolutely.
man.
Me and him saw a Chinese man, and I look over at both of us, just like in
My eyes like literally watered at the end because I was like, it made me like, there's all kinds of movies that every year that make me fall in love with film again.
Yeah.
And this movie, like, if you don't love cinema, like if you don't love film, how can that movie not inspire you to like
Yeah.
love movies again? Especially
Yeah.
going to movie theater. Movie theaters are communal. There's something about going to a movie theater that I love, and I think it helped reinvigorate like going to theaters.
It was just an
Masterpiece.
absolutely. There's nothing we can add that hasn't already been said. I mean, it's untouched. I think it's the best movie I've seen in a very long time, and the best sci-fi movie ever made.
I agree.
Dune Part 2.
I agree. Rufus loved it.
Absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both were just
It's a
like,
great
in
movie.
awe. I have a question for you. What was the movie that made you want to be an actor?
I don't know if it was like one movie
Or-
I got in a car accident, and that's when I like reevaluated my whole life.
No way.
Yeah, I was hit by a drunk driver in college, and then I like dropped out because I have 4 older sisters, and one's a director, 2 actresses, 2 writers, one's a producer, and they were like, "You should move to New York and be an actor." Like my whole childhood, because I grew up pretty poor, and I have 6 kids. I just watched
Wow.
movies all day.
All day, yeah.
So I don't know if it was one movie, but I would run around my basement and do gladiator lines in like Braveheart. Like every man dies, but not every man truly lives. And I would just go around my house, husband to a murdered wife, father to a murdered son, and I would have my vengeance in this life or the next. I just grew up loving movies, and my mom was an actress in LA, so I watched like old movies. Favorite actor is Paul Newman, Marlon Brando, like On the
Did you watch
Waterfront.
the Paul Newman, Joanne Woodward
Are
documentary?
you kidding me? It's one of my favorites, and Ethan Hawke narrates it, right?
Yeah, after watching that documentary, I bought a frame print from Paul Newman's estate of Joanne Woodward and Paul Newman in their kitchen in Beverly Hills, and I have it framed in
This is my
in their
background on
kitchen.
my phone. It's Paul Newman and
That is his background.
Paul Newman and Brando
Amazing.
at a civil rights thing. Yeah, I just loved movies growing up. So when I
Yeah.
got in my car accident, I was like, oh, you can die at any time. I was like, what do I really want to do? Oh, I want to make movies for kids that don't get to go on vacation or at home.
Yeah.
Can watch something for 2 hours and be inspired or
Cool.
engaged. And my favorite actor is Paul Newman. I think he's just a phenomenal actor, but also just like great human being, what he did. So yeah, like my whole goal is like to make movies or make a podcast that like people can watch or listen to. And in the chaos of their normal life, have an hour of escapism to be entertained. And feel different emotions and have different perspectives.
Yeah.
And
Did you have a movie?
yeah, Braveheart and Gladiator are my guys. Those are like my 2. I like freedom and I like love. In both of
Yeah.
those movies, their wives get killed and then they avenge their wives. Sign me up.
Yeah, we're all in the film industry. What were your movies that got you
Oh,
inspired?
yeah, what was your child like?
You know what? When I was at my lowest in New York, the movie that really made me think I have to do this is Lost in Translation.
Oh, I just watched it 3 days ago
Gosh,
for the
it's
100th time.
so good.
It's one
Ring
of
a
my
ding
favorite
ding.
movies.
It's
One of my favorite movies. And The Professional.
I
Also one
love,
of my
man,
favorite
Leon the
movies.
Professional?
Leon the Professional,
Yeah.
so
yeah.
good.
What about Lost in Translation? There's something about that movie at the end where you just completely feel what they're both feeling. Like when he gets out of the car and he chases her down the street and he grabs her and he hugs her and he kisses her. Like, it's just a beautiful scene.
What movies did you like as a kid?
You know something very nerdy about me? My all-time, to this day, favorite TV show on the planet, stands the test of time. I rewatch it almost every couple of years, and every single time I watch it, bar none, best show I've ever seen. Battlestar Galactica. Not the original.
Oh, I was like, you were going to say Friends. I was like, please don't say Friends.
I
No.
thought, for some reason, I thought you were going to say the TV show Shia LaBeouf with Beans. What is that?
Even Stevens.
Even
Steven Stevens.
Fuck yeah,
That's
Even
what it's where my
Stevens.
brain
I
went.
loved.
Everybody fucks with Even Stevens.
Have you either of you watched Battlestar Galactica
Never,
with
no.
Edward Olmos and Katie Sackhoff? And
I don't even know what it is.
Is it a cartoon?
no, it's a drama. It's a show.
Never, no.
Anyway, so that was my favorite show growing up, and yeah, I can't say enough good things about it. It's so good.
Never seen it.
It's
See, my
amazing.
mom was an actress, so we just grew up with like, I watched Chocolat, I watched Casablanca, Gone with the Wind. Because I also have 4 older sisters, so I
Yeah.
usually, whatever
you
I
grew
wanted
up
to watch,
fast.
I didn't get to watch
you
that.
grew up
You know what I
fast.
mean? I watched all of the romantic older, like,
Oh, wait.
dude, Gone with the Wind.
I have a fire
Like-
story about my little brother Spencer. Because just like you had to grow up fast. You grew up with older sisters who were teaching you all the movies and they want to watch what they want to watch and they're going to get priority. My little brother Spencer was in kindergarten. So he's being raised with me, Callie, Austin. We're all like in the middle of, I don't know, it's like early 2000. And the kindergartners had like, what's your favorite movie? What's your favorite song? So Spencer for his favorite song puts Big Pimpin' as a kindergartner. And then he puts Rush Hour 2 as his favorite movie. And the teacher calls my mom and was like, hey, we can't put this on the wall. It says Big Pimpin'.
It says Big Pimpin'.
I love
Yeah,
that.
but
So
it is
good.
like if you know Spencer.
Big
that's-
Pimpin's like Big Pimpin' all over the world. That one?
No,
Is that a joke?
that was the whitest thing you could have ever
That-
done. Truly. Wait, I'm gonna
Play it, sing it right now. I can't think of the melody.
Big pimpin', spending cheese. I got
Okay, yeah.
big pimpin',
It
you
was
wanna
sick.
me.
Yeah,
okay.
bro.
Yes.
There you
yes,
go. There you go.
Okay.
He's reclaimed his
He's-
Spanish.
Found it. I found it. There you are, Peter.
You are, Peter. What
Do you know
movie?
that line?
Yeah.
What movie?
There you are, Peter. Hook.
Hook.
When he can fly again. Okay, so you're obviously like badass at your job. What keeps you in the modeling world where it's, pretty superficial? Why do you stay in that?
Yeah, that's why I wanted to leave it, because there is a superficiality to it that wasn't feeding me when I was in New York, which is why I didn't want to continue. And one, I think it's changed so much in recent years for the better, inclusivity wise, and we're not like measuring girls anymore. Thank God. Like that always made me feel really icky, especially my old boss who would literally tell girls to do coke to lose weight and like not eat. It was disgusting.
So you've been in the modeling world for 10 years now on the agency side, and you're clearly really good at what you do. What is your role?
I'm the scout. So I do all the scouting for our LA office. I find the girls that they book, and it's a really fun job because I'm pretty much hands off. I get to like pick a girl that really wants to model and sign her and change her life in a way. It's not always life changing, but a lot of the times it is. I signed a girl that was like working at a tattoo shop.
So it's like the eye test. It's like, oh, wait, like you have this look. I really like it.
Yeah, and I just know I've been in this market for so long. I've been in the LA market for so long. I know what is working here, even though it's ever changing. I see what girls are booking and I find more of them, or if we have like holes, things to fill, I find where we're lacking, and it's really fun. I get to like change someone's life in a way, and then I don't have anything to do with the day to day.
But you say yes. Do other people have to say yes?
I do not make the decision. I have no power.
You recommend. You're like, hey.
I have no power. My power comes and I can get you in the door. And then the team that actually books you, that actually will make you money, has to say, yes, actually, I think she can work for X, Y, and Z in my clients. It's the last thing we ever want to do is sign someone that can say, oh, Wilhelmina did nothing for me,
Is that an agency decision? Meaning like
Yes.
everybody on the team has
everyone on the team
Everyone
Has
has
to
to give
okay.
it a
has to
stamp
okay
of
it.
approval.
Has to say yes or say.
Has there ever
I
been like
support. There's been a couple of girls that I've really, really believed in, and my boss, who's absolutely amazing, Steve. I think you
I know
met
Steve. I love Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Shout out
boss,
Steve.
the most amazing boss I've ever had. Talk about it starts from the top and someone who can lead. He really is just salt of the earth, and he's like, you know what? If you want to put your neck on the line for this girl, we'll sign her and we'll see what she does. But you're going to have to do all the legwork. So really my job right now is like, I find them, if they sign them and they say yes, I'm hands off. Or if they say no, I have to then crush some dreams, which is the worst part of the job, is saying no to these people. I definitely feel like I have curses on me because the amount of dreams I've crushed versus made is so out of whack. I'm like, ooh, that can't be good karma. You know, and especially
It's
when
gotta be. It's gotta be.
but
Really hard to
especially
do.
when I
is business,
find
right?
someone.
No.
Yeah, but when I like pluck someone from obscurity and I'm like, you want to come into Wilhelmina? You want to try to be a model? And I'm like, ooh, shit, sorry, the team said no. I'm like, you didn't even ask for this. Like, I brought you in here and now I have to say no to you. I feel like it hurts. It hurts me. But it is business. I have to do it. It's business. It's my job. And
Yeah, the crushing dreams is hard though, but it's better to not have them on your roster than for them to be with you and feel like they're not getting work or.
yeah.
Like I've dealt with that with having managers. One of my managers told me I should be an agent. Like, cool, yeah, I just went to one of the top acting schools in the world just to be an agent. So you have like an eye for like picking talent. Do you think you're gonna stick with that for a while, or you like take those talents or your taste into a different area? Like, where do you see yourself in 10 years work wise?
You know, I don't know. I came out here to be an actor. I have been pursuing that dream alongside my very real job and career. I'm so lucky to be a struggling actor, but also have this amazing job that is a career. I don't take that for granted. It is my dream to be a working actor. Yeah. And I feel so lucky that I have something that I'm really good at, I enjoy, I'm passionate about, pays me well. And honestly, I'm okay with that. I've kind of let go of the whole like hustle, like, oh, I need to be like, what am I going to do in 10 years, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm really proud of myself. I'm really happy with what I'm doing. I really hope that I can book more on the acting front. It's a whole nother can of worms to talk about, but I am like super passionate about interiors, about aesthetics. I have a house in Lake Arrowhead that I've been renovating by myself. So that's like...
She's very DIY.
I love Lake Arrowhead. We went up there recently.
Oh, yeah. And like, you were 5 minutes away from me and didn't come and see me.
He wanted to, and I was like, nah, I don't want to meet her.
It was you?
That was also a year ago. It wasn't
It was
like...
a year
Yeah,
ago,
it was
I
a
know,
year
but
ago.
it was
A
like
year
so
ago.
weird that you went there and like couldn't make time for me. It was so strange.
This is a dude's weekend. We were like healing.
No, I tried, Viv.
Yeah, but I wasn't the one that was like, come over, cool. And you were like, cool, I'll hit you up later. And then like, nothing.
Were you with girls too?
No, I was
No.
with Rufus.
I recall you getting back to me the next day when I was going to come over.
We'll pull up the receipts
Okay,
after
we'll pull up
this.
receipts.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man.
Oh, man.
It was a
Lake
bros
Arrowhead's
weekend.
really
It was a
pretty.
bros weekend.
It was a roast weekend. I know, but I'm like kind of a bro.
You are, bro. You are, bro.
You know what's funny? You will come into my girls' nights and like totally meld in, but I've also come into your bro nights and totally like we're kind of like
We are. She'll have girls'
Simpatico.
night. She's like, hey, like she'll hit me. She's like, you want to come over? I'm
you want
like,
to come over? We're drinking wine and talking about our feelings. And Jeremiah's like, fuck yeah,
yeah,
I'll be there in 10.
skip it.
It's like
That's a rom-com, bro.
I like walk through the door like, hey.
Jeremiah has two bottles of wine. He's like, let's talk, ladies.
He's like, girls' night.
I just think of I Love You Man where he comes in and goes, yeah, Pepperidge Farm.
No, I think there's so much. Your girls are awesome, obviously, and so we always have like the best convos. And somehow found myself accepting being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And so it's lent to really great conversations. I think it's opened myself up.
I
to
really appreciate that about you more so than I think any other guy friend I have. Like, I just know that when you come over, I'm such a big proponent of you really should only have friends that feed you. And I just hate having people come over or seeing someone for a coffee, whatever it is. I hate coffee, but anyway, besides the point. Like, no, that's like a pet peeve of mine. I just
Coffee's
like,
catching a stray.
I just remember that as like a pet peeve. I hate when people ask you for coffee. It's like, let's go get a fucking drink like adults. Like coffee. Let's go get
Some people
a
don't drink.
cocktail.
Sign me up for wine happy hour any fucking day.
I'm like, coffee? What are we?
Coffee's like a business thing.
It's so weird. It's so
Or,
like,
like,
it's so
we get
cold
coffee, but we're
and
like,
strange
we're
and like
friends.
there's daylight. It's gross.
I don't know. I'm a coffee date guy.
Like that's how we get to the crux of things
We do.
over wine, and we really. But anyway, I really, really admire that about you. You're so in tune emotionally in a way that so many men aren't, and keep going in that direction.
I will.
Don't
I
ever,
appreciate you. I appreciate
don't
you.
ever change.
No, I won't.
Turn that into a reel. You hear that, ladies?
Well, I think I was put in a position where I was forced to ask questions, and I was forced to know myself and
Confront yourself.
confront myself.
Yeah.
And I think that's just allowed
No, but you're not giving yourself enough credit. So many men run away from those questions. So many men are just like, blinders.
Yeah,
Like,
most people die with never learning that.
Right. He went into them head on
I
and
did.
like asked the tough questions and
did.
answered the tough questions
I
and
did.
worked on yourself. And I'm just,
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. And two,
thank you.
it's so cool.
I appreciate you. And obviously, it's also like having a safe space. And I think it can be hard to have a community of people where you can feel safe around them.
Yeah.
And you can have like real conversation around them. And obviously, Judah, you're one, but Viv, I mean, I think like just our relationship, our connectivity grew even more so out of it. I think being able to just, she knows everything about me. And so I feel like that allowed us to, I think, just grow our own relationship, honestly. You know what I mean? Like I cannot talk to you for 4 or 5 months. The next time I talk to you, it feels like it was yesterday.
Exactly.
It's a great relationship to have.
Yeah.
Those are rare though.
Yeah.
Because both of you have to be on that level.
It's true.
You know what I
For
mean?
sure.
Like she
You gotta
could, like she could be doing that for you, but if you weren't helping yourself, it wouldn't have that connection.
100%. Wait, so I know you've been at Wilhelmina for 10 years, but when were you on a TV show?
I did.
Because I know about it, but I don't really know
I
about
did
it.
a show called Vivian that I pretty much produced and wrote, but it ended up being a reality show because of Wilhelmina, though.
Wait, so what was Vivian about?
Yeah.
Vivian. Me.
You. And they just like followed you around?
It was like me trying to be an actress and also being a model scout, and E did it with Snapchat. So do you remember what Snapchat was doing?
I do short
TV
form.
shows? Yeah, short
Yeah.
form. So I had the first Snapchat show.
What?
Yeah.
That's fucking
Was it one
sick.
season, multiple
One
seasons?
season.
One season.
Yeah, one season. An okay experience. It was really cool, and it like pushed a lot of boundaries for me. And it was a really great experience, but I wouldn't do it again. What we were trying to do was like kind of meld scripted and unscripted and create this new thing. And it just ended up being like a cheesy reality show, even though all reality is scripted. Like, it's hilarious. that
I've
it's
never really watched-
unscripted.
I've never really watched
All
reality.
reality is scripted.
My sister has a whole podcast called Bachelor Party, and it's all about. My sister's obsessed.
Bachelor?
She loves reality TV. It's The Bachelor, it's Love Island, it's all these.
I don't watch
Never-
any of it.
She loves.
Do you
them.
watch it?
No,
I don't watch
The
any
only
of
one
it.
I've ever liked is Shark Tank.
I watch real shows.
Me too.
I like. Did you watch Physical 100 on Netflix?
No.
Those Koreans like lifting heavy things. That was a good one. Anyway, never mind.
No, I haven't seen that.
I love a documentary.
Love a good
Yeah,
doc.
documentary. Yeah,
Love a
Yeah.
documentary.
But anyway, the show, like, it was very weird because it was my first foray, into like the public life, and I was like weirdly famous for like 3 months. I remember I went to Orlando with Pasha. I got mobbed like in Winter Park. We were like going to the little bars in Winter Park, and I
Yeah.
was like mobbed by a bunch of like young girls being like, "Oh my God, I'm watching your show." And I kind of thought that was going to be my life, and I didn't realize like how fame works. Like, it's such a machine.
gotta keep it up.
You got to keep it up, and it's such a machine, and you can have a little heat for a second. Not that this like stupid Snapchat show gave me any heat, but like I really did
Obviously
think
it did though.
I really did think this was going to be my life. And yeah, then we didn't do a second season for various reasons, and it just all kind of fell away.
You don't seem like you're too upset that it fell away.
No, because it wasn't the right thing. I want to be an actor. I loved creating. Like, I loved that I made something, and I was actually able to get a major studio to fund it, and not me alone. There was a lot of producers
Yeah,
involved.
But it was actually produced.
But it was produced, it was made, NBC Universal paid for it. Like, that's so cool. Like, I
Yeah.
did that, but it wasn't the right thing.
Like with your acting career, what kind of movies or TV shows would you want to be in? Like genre, style? Like he's telling me I need to be in cowboy stuff. I do want to do time like period pieces.
Well, I know you're
so
versatile. I know you can be in anything, but like the
Yeah.
other day you came, I was like, bro, you'd be awesome in a Western. Like you should.
Like what would you want to
You
be in?
know.
What's your dream roles?
I love that question, like, as if we have any fucking control over what we would like.
Someday
I
you
would
might.
literally, yeah, someday I might, but like right now, it's like, oh, one line on LA Law, sure. One line on Criminal Minds, sure. I'll tell you what I think I'm best at, where I think I shine is slightly dark comedy. Like, I love a
White Lotus.
dark comedy. Yeah, White
White
Lotus,
Lotus
is a great.
is great.
Yeah,
Fucking love White Lotus.
yeah. Girls.
I love
would've been
Girls.
great in
Did you watch
Girls.
Girls?
Are you kidding me, bro? My neighborhood.
facts,
I lived
yeah.
in Williamsburg.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
know
When
it.
I was in acting school, I lived in Brooklyn.
love Girls.
And that show came
What
out.
acting school did you go to?
All of Stella Adler.
Oh, okay.
And all of my neighborhood blew up from that. Rent through the roof.
No way.
Thanks. What's the girl's name? Lena Dunham.
Lena Dunham.
Great show though. Adam
Great show.
Driver.
Great show. She put so many people
Bro,
on.
that
She
was
put
Adam
so
Driver's
many people
career
on.
got
And
started.
then that
because
one
of
dude, what's her name? The really hot one in Girls. She's
Jemima Kirk.
she's dating the dude from The Bear, cousin. He's in Girls.
He is.
as her boyfriend.
He is in Girls.
Did you watch The Bear?
Slightly.
Cousin is in Girls. That was one of his first
You know,
roles.
I didn't love The Bear.
First season's tough to get through.
I didn't. I
Yeah,
couldn't get. I
me and
couldn't
him
get
were
through it.
watching the
Season
first
2
season.
is where it's
Stopped.
at.
I pushed through to second
Okay.
season.
That's what Rufus loves it.
The
He's
Second
redemption.
season.
me.
It's the second season,
It's
honestly.
like Dune Part 2. It gives you
Alright,
what you were
alright.
wanting in the first one.
First season is very mid, honestly. Second season's where it's at.
Second season's
I have a
great.
question. Me and Judah both dated models. Any tips?
Yeah, I'm talking to one currently.
It just hasn't worked. Every model I've talked to just hasn't worked out. Maybe I'm probably the problem, if I had to assume. But
Well, you have to ask yourself: are you dating them because they're models, or
No,
do
that's
you-
actually
do
a
you
turn off
want-
for me.
Do you want to date a model?
I don't even
or
think I look at it that way. I'm not like, oh, she's a model, I have to date her.
Yeah,
you
no,
just,
if anything,
you're
they're
just, you just love the beauty.
There's a
of the-
silhouette, I think, attraction for me.
Yeah.
And I think I've been trying to like shift my mindset out of it.
I have so much PTSD. You know, I went on a date with a guy that I really, really liked and then started lying about what I did because I really, really liked this guy and I told him what I did. And he never talked to me again, like in that way, like in a datey way. And we had a mutual friend. My mutual friend told me, oh, he wanted to keep the Wilhelmina dating pool open for himself. Like he didn't want to.
Wow.
Whoa.
And so even though I'm like locked in and like don't want anything from either of you, I'm still like,
No, see,
I'm
I'm more of like I like figure. I'm not models. That's one thing for me is I don't really like skinny.
yeah, but that's like such an antiquated silhouette. I feel like the amazing thing that's happened in the industry is that, especially in LA, like the really skinny girls aren't working, honestly. It's like the curvy girls.
You're speaking to like an industry standard that's been the
That's
Yeah.
been,
The
yeah.
stereotype
But
for so
the
long. I get
stereotype,
it.
Yeah,
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 for sure.
In LA, that's certainly in New York, I'd say that's still, but in
Definitely
LA,
New York.
I was gonna say, look, yeah.
New York for sure.
So any tips on dating models?
Yay, nay, no.
Get hotter. Like, I don't know.
Fair enough.
Do you have
No,
any? Do you
it's-
have any in your friends with that you would hook us up with?
I feel like do guy friends not ask you that question all the time?
Yeah, it's annoying.
It has to be annoying.
annoying.
I knew it. I knew it had to be annoying. I've never once asked Viv ever.
No, never. I
I've
love
never
that
asked
about
Viv.
you. Never.
Wait,
Yeah.
people actually ask you to hook them up with models?
Not anymore. I've weeded all those
But
people
people
out.
have people have in the
We
past.
don't-
Yeah, you're,
Some
on,
people
you're
a-
off my Hanukkah list.
Shabbat shalom. People have actually asked you that? Like, can you hook me up with blah blah blah?
I'm sure, man.
They don't.
Yes.
I'm not gonna
And
say
I
what
always,
friend
I
of
say
mine
the
would
same
do
thing.
that,
I said
but,
I'm
like-
not a pimp.
Dude, get your own Riz.
I'm not a fucking pimp. You can.
That's
yeah.
hilarious.
If I ever stepped at Viv and asked her, like she'd know like I meant it.
Yeah,
Like she'd be
or-
like, oh,
and
like,
also,
or she
like-
might even be like, yo, Jeremiah, by the way, there's this.
DM her, dude. Like, what? Why do you need a?
Or I would tell you like, hey, not her. Like,
Yeah.
Not a great one.
What is the thing you're most proud of to this point? You're 27 years old.
You dropped out of school at 16 and look at where you are
Yeah.
now. It's pretty fascinating. Like,
It really
what?
is.
Thank you. I really am working on giving myself more grace because, you know, I read this on Tumblr ages and ages ago that growing up is just a babushka doll of self-hate. You're just constantly bemoaning younger versions of yourself. And I do feel like that. Like I really, and it's horrible. It's a
I feel
horrible
that.
way. It's a horrible way to look at aging. It's like the exact opposite of what everyone
Can you explain
should
that further?
say.
Like how
Is
you interpret
every,
that?
Like every year, I feel like, oh my god, I was so fucking dumb last year. I was so stupid. Like
yeah.
I'm so embarrassed by everything I said ever. Like if you ever have heard me talk, like no, you didn't. Like you just forget it, you know. But I constantly think I'm amazing. Like I'm always just like, I mean, sorry, like
You are amazing.
no,
You
no,
are.
but I'm constantly proud of myself. But then a year goes by and I'm like, ew. Like that's so embarrassing. who
Brother,
you were.
ew.
I really do struggle with in the moment. I'm always like, I'm proud of myself. I'm doing good. Like I'm so grateful for the life I've built. Like I've come a long way. But then like I'll look at myself a year ago and I'll be like, ooh. Why did you open your
I can relate
mouth?
to that, though.
Why did you talk? Like you don't know anything yet. Just shut up until you know things. And what I can say that I'm proud of is that I really am just who I am, like for better or worse. Like I really don't put anything on. I can't help but be brutally honest at all times. I think honestly it's because I had a bit of a lying problem when I was in my teens, and to negate that, my therapist was like, this is what I want you to do so you stop lying, because I was lying about everything. I was lying
Little
about
what, yeah.
about the sky being blue, you
You
know.
don't lie anymore.
not really. But
No, now you're just brutally honest.
now this is the problem. My therapist was like, no matter what, even if you think someone's shoes are ugly, you say it immediately. As soon as something comes in your head, you just say it.
I'm just picturing you after that. Your shoes suck. You're
Your
ugly.
shoes suck. Yeah, you're really scuffed.
What about Viv facts?
What Andy says that I do all the time.
I don't know who told me that, but
What
was
is
Andy.
what is a Viv fact?
and he's like, "Don't out me." I'm like, "I won't.
I have a lot of strong opinions and I don't know much. So that's a Viv fact. Like, I'm very uneducated, but I
Say
have a
that.
strong opinion about absolutely everything.
Being intelligent and being educated are different. Just because you're educated doesn't mean you're intelligent.
I
know tons of people that went to school that are fucking stupid.
I'll raise you with this. I think
are
my
different.
greatest
Education.
fair.
my greatest superpower is my self-awareness. I rely on my self-awareness way more than I rely on my intellect. I think self-awareness is the one most important quality a person can have, especially if I'm going to be in
agree.
a relationship with them.
I agree.
I think you can get through anything else, but if they're not self-aware, there's
Can you
no
give me an
future.
example on the benefit of being self-aware? Because when I hear that, I think of it as far as being like self-conscious.
No. Self-aware and subconscious are different things.
Self-awareness is a superpower, honestly.
Agreed.
Self-awareness is knowing that I am completely uneducated and have very strong opinions on everything. Knowing that I get super angry and that's like to my detriment. I lose arguments even though I'm right because of how angry I get. I know that. Like, I know all of my defaults, and because I know them, I can work on them. I have friends that are so blissfully unaware of their defects, but they're never going to move forward in life because without being aware of what is wrong with you, how do you get better?
Yeah, you can't change if you don't know what
do you
you're
get better?
changing.
Well, also, like, I think that's where ego and pride come into play. Part of you might feel like, I don't need to. You know, you don't have the awareness to even
You don't
think.
even have the awareness to,
You don't have the awareness to think about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that's something I've certainly worked through a lot. It's like, oh, like I have an awareness of this now when I didn't before. Really just, I think in part, like taking accountability, one, and then thinking about others. When you're just like wrapped up in yourself all the time, like you're not going to have any awareness.
Totally.
But I feel that completely.
That's a good answer.
Hell of an answer. We are so appreciative of having you on. Truly, like, I love you, and you've been such a dear friend in my life. And I think like our relationship's only strengthened over these last several years since I met you. And I'm so grateful for our mutual friend Pasha for introducing me to you. And I'm so excited for you and this next stage of life that you're entering into. And you're beautiful, and you're badass, and you're unapologetically Viv. And I love that about you.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming in. It was very fun. It's very good to finally meet you too.
Yeah.
So. Thank you everyone for watching. Tune in next week, and don't forget to hit the button down below and subscribe to the Patreon. It's the only place you can listen to the whole thing and watch the full video version and get the menu or have a full playlist by Jeremiah and our 5-star reviews. Thank you guys. We'll see you next week.